Everybody, welcome back to the Sunnydale Review. I'm Brian.
I'm Jillian.
Jillian, how you doing?
I'm good. I haven't gotten coronavirus yet, so
Hey,
things are still looking good.
as far as I know, I don't have it either. By the time this airs, who knows? Hopefully, we'll get these edited before, so if any of us get taken out by coronavirus, we'll at least have to the end of season 3. This is the least we can do for people, right?
Yeah.
Give people entertainment while they're stuck inside hoarding toilet paper and all that.
Well, because I mean, what else are you gonna do when you're quarantined? Just watch YouTube all day long.
YouTube, watch Buffy so that you can, listen right afterwards. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Or
good
watch
time.
that, watch Buffy, and then come over and watch us.
Exactly. And tell all your friends to do that. I think it sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So what episodes are we covering today? Speaking of.
So today we are covering Dopplegangland and Enemies, season 3, episodes 16 and 17. And
Awesome.
I personally, I love these episodes. I think they're so cool.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, no, we were talking before the show. Dopplegangland's like one of my first solid memories of Buffy. Just love this episode, and I cannot wait to get into it.
Yes. I love this episode. I think it's so much fun.
All right, so let's get started.
All right, so Dopplegangland, Season 3, Episode 16, originally aired February 23rd, 1999, written and directed by, no surprise here, Joss Whedon.
Yes.
So we start the episode off with Anya, a character that I don't think we've seen since The Wish. She's meeting with a demon, Dahofrin, to beg for her powers to be restored. Remember, she was the one who caused the whole alternate universe in the episode The Wish.
Yes.
She's now stuck as a mortal and has apparently still been attending Sunnydale High.
I love how she's just like, well, I guess this is what I'm supposed to do now.
Yeah.
Part of her spell must have like enrolled her in all the classes.
Yeah.
It's like, it is what it is.
Funny that we don't have any records for the student at any point before, they're in their senior year.
Yeah.
Just no history. It's fine.
It's whatever. Although I will say, obviously, like having watched the show, we have a different perspective. But I'm really happy that they kept Anya, because they could have definitely just been a one-off.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, then she just leaves, and then we wouldn't have cared. Like
watching
it along, we wouldn't have known. But
we didn't really get to know her at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because most of the demons and vampire enemies for each episode are one-off, so it's cool that they kept this going. Same with Amy turning into the rat. Like it's a recurring thing. That's for the rest of the I don't want to get too into it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but they have these. It's very much like I don't know if you've ever seen New Girl.
Yes.
But you know how they have like the douchebag jar, and they have the what's his name? The roommate who can't do pranks. He either goes too small or too big. Can't remember his name right now. But you know what I'm talking about. Huh?
Winston,
yes. Yeah. So it's one of those things where they have these kind of just running gags or running storylines
right
throughout.
Yeah. I should clarify, I casually watched it while Jenny was watching all the episodes, so I had to dig deep to pull the name Winston.
It's so good, though.
Oh, it's really funny from what I've seen. Yeah. It's a really good show. And obviously, Zooey Deschanel, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She's hilarious, and Jake Johnson, so good.
Yep.
But, yeah.
I love the guy who plays Schmidt.
Yeah, he's great.
So let's see. At the school, Buffy and Willow are both in training. Buffy is exercising, and Willow is practicing her emotional control and magic by spinning a floating pencil. Buffy mentions that due to Faith's recent actions, both of the Slayers are being put through physical and mental tests. At one point, Willow says, well, the mental test should be easy. Just don't check the box that says, sometimes I like to kill people.
Yeah, you can only kill demons, remember.
Yeah. So let's see. After being called into the principal's office with the school jock Percy, Willow is told she is going to be tutoring Percy so that he can stay on the basketball team. Percy assumes that Willow is going to be doing all of his homework for him, starting with his history paper, and Willow seems resigned to accepting her fate and writing the paper.
Too nice. She's too nice.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, in her defense, Snyder is also scary, so...
Yes, that's true. You know how Snyder feels about his athletic, players and teams,
Back at the library, Giles tells Willow to take another stab at hacking into the mayor's files. Faith returns from training with an exhausted Wesley. Faith asks Willow what she's up to, and she tells her that she's trying to hack into the mayor's files, and Faith kind of takes a little bit of interest. She's like, Can you really do that? And Willow's like, in theory, yes, I'm trying. And we saw, I think it was at the end of last episode, we saw Faith going to the mayor and kind of being like, so I hear you have a job opening.
Which is a good line. Died. I like that.
Yeah. So you start to see Faith kind of playing this, like, secret agent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Later that day, Faith passes on the information to Mayor Wilkins as he is giving her a tour of her new apartment, which is, like, really nice, by the way.
Yeah,
it looks like a penthouse.
Yeah. Yeah, he hooked her up.
Oh, yeah. He tells Faith that she can keep the motel room to see her friends, but he doesn't want her actually living there. She thanks him, referring to him as Sugar Daddy, but he doesn't like that. He's like, I'm a family man. Even though he has no family. Float his soul. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mayor is a very complex character.
Yes, definitely.
But it is a little bit sweet in, like, you can almost see a parallel between the mayor and Faith and Giles and Buffy, where they're both fulfilling this kind of father role, but for different motivations. Like, Mayor Wilkins is being like a father figure to Faith because he sees her as like a potential weapon, both physically and with her kind of in with the Scoobies and being able to kind of keep tabs on what they're doing and what actions they might try to take against him. But then Giles is a father figure to Buffy because he has pure motivations of wanting to keep her safe and not just being in that like watcher role, but also caring about her as a person.
Right.
So yeah, let's see. Back at the high school, Buffy and Xander are talking to Willow and mention that she is very dependable. Unfortunately, this aspect of her personality also makes it very easy for people to walk all over her, and she's fed up with that. She storms away, eating her banana before the designated lunchtime as an attempt at being rebellious. Soon after, she runs into Anya in the hallway, who asks her for help with a spell, which Willow is happy and excited to help with.
Yes. Finally being respected for something.
Yeah. I just love her, like, being like, you know what? I'm going to eat this banana. It is not lunchtime. I don't care. I'm just going to eat my banana. It's like, girl, you do you.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Anya and Willow try a spell to retrieve Anya's power source necklace that was destroyed at the end of the wish. Anya tells Willow that it's a family heirloom. The two perform the spell, and Willow ends up seeing flashes and visions of the other universe from the wish. Distracted by what she's seeing, some of the sacred sand hits her hand, which ends up retrieving Vampire Willow from the other dimension rather than Anya's necklace.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like she focused in on that because she was like, wait, what the hell? And then forgot to focus it on the necklace, or it was just like, I don't know. I don't know if there's like distinct reasoning for why she brought other Willow back.
I mean, if you're doing a spell and seeing visions of another universe where you see a vampire you, I'd be a little like,
gonna get locked in.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Willow's like, that's a little bit darker than I like my magic.
So yeah, now we got Vampire Willow, who we've seen is scary.
Yes.
Very scary in the other universe.
Possibly also mentally disturbed.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
But yeah, so in the wish gets killed by Oz, but this like takes her right before then.
Yes. Let's see. Vampire Willow decides to head straight to the Bronze, where we know the main vampire hangout was in the other dimension, and runs into Percy. He asks her why she isn't home writing his paper, saying, "Till graduation, I own your ass." Vampire Willow slightly pummels him, throwing him over the pool table, and then nearly choking him to death.
It's awesome.
Xander shows up and pulls Percy away from Willow, thinking he was the aggressor. Willow, thinking that he is her boyfriend, Vampire Xander, from the other dimension, greets Xander with hands in new places.
Especially given everything that's happened this season. Not great.
No. Let's see. Oh, especially considering like the whole cheating thing and Willow being like, my hands need to be for Oz only.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's like, whoa, what's
hard turn.
What?
Oh, man.
Let's see. Willow realizes that he's alive, and Vampire Willow. This is gonna be like the one struggle with this episode is keeping track of who's who. So Vampire Willow realizes that Xander is alive, and she gets really confused, mentioning that everything is different, and then just kind of runs off.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't understand this. Like, this used to be my hangout. You used to be my boyfriend and a vampire. Like, what
she has
the
a
hell's
cool
going
line
on
where she's
here?
like, Xander, you're alive. And then she's like, oh, wait, you're alive? And he's like, yes? What?
Aren't I usually?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Vampire Willow doesn't run off yet. Buffy arrives, and Xander, and Vampire Willow start talking about Willow's new leather-clad look, saying that they're sorry for the comments they made earlier, and that she didn't need to prove anything. Vampire Willow goes to walk away, and Buffy tries to stop her. She yells at Buffy to get off of her and momentarily exposes her vampire face. And Buffy and Xander are understandably stunned.
Yeah. So, yeah, it sucks. They think straight up Willow has gotten turned.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, why wouldn't you? It makes sense, you know? It's fucking Sunnydale. I mean, everyone could be a vampire at any moment.
This is one thing that's never explained, though, is, like, what is the timeline of someone turning into a vampire?
Right.
It's like, how long are they actually dead for?
You know what? It's like zombie bites and zombie movies. It takes as long as they need it to for the story.
It takes as long as the plot deems necessary.
Exactly.
Because it can't be, like, a quick thing.
No, because many...
most of the time people are buried.
Yeah. Or, like, at their wake, like, last season when Xander killed that girl that they thought was killed by the werewolf. Like, it's usually a while, days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So let's see. So Vampire Willow, now walking around town, stumbles across Mayor Wilkins' vampire minions and decides to take over as their new leader, which they're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
They decide to try to turn the world back to the way it was for Vampire Willow, which basically try to turn it into where Sunnydale is just completely overrun by vampires. Let's see. Back at the library, Buffy and Xander have filled in Giles on what they saw, and they're all mourning the loss of Willow. Buffy blames herself, saying that she must have upset Willow by calling her dependable, causing her to go out and get herself bit and turned. Giles says Willow was truly the finest of all of them. And Xander goes, way better than me.
Yeah.
And Giles goes, yes.
Yes.
Way better than you.
Is this when Willow comes in?
Yes. Yeah. As they sit there mourning her death, Willow walks in. She immediately can tell they're upset and asks who died. When they look up, dumbstruck at her, she realizes someone must have actually died and says that and asks again. She's like, hey guys, who died? Oh God, who died?
It's so good.
Xander runs up to her with a cross and waves it at her, but since this is the real human Willow, she reacts confused rather than recoiling like a vampire would have done. Xander and Buffy both run to hug Willow. She tries to ask Giles what's going on. He also runs up to hug her.
It's so good.
Willow's response is, "Hey, you all didn't just like do a bunch of drugs, did you?"
I love too because I think she's in like a pretty poofy pink like sweater in
Yeah.
this scene. It's so like such a difference between Vampire Willow and her.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see. They determine that something very strange is happening, but Giles has no answers.
I think at this point
Giles,
they're
what's
just
happening?
happy. It's like, you know what? It's bad, obviously, but Willow's still alive, so you take the good and the bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Vampire Willow and her new gang ambush the Bronze and take everyone hostage. Dingoes Ate My Baby were playing there, so Oz is there, and Angel was looking for Buffy, so they're both trapped there as hostages as well. Um, Vampire Willow comes in and tries to illustrate the severity of the situation to the rest of the hostages by killing a woman. Oz tells Angel to sneak out the back and go get Buffy.
Yeah. Which has to
Um,
be like a terrible moment for Oz to be like, oh
oh
my
yeah,
god, my girlfriend's a fucking vampire now.
and just murdered a lady in front
Yeah.
of my face.
So,
Let's see. Anya was also at the Bronze and has figured out what happened with the spell and that Vampire Willow isn't supposed to be in this world. She offers to help send Vampire Willow home. All she needs to do is get the human Willow to help cast the spell and send her back and allow Anya to retrieve her necklace. So back at the library, human Willow is taken off guard by Vampire Willow. Vampire Willow offers to turn human Willow into a vampire. But human Willow manages to grab the trank gun they usually use for Werewolf Oz and shoots Vampire Willow, knocking her out. So, I mean, you gotta give Willow props here, because she got the upper hand on her vampire self.
yes, that was great.
Let's see. The Scoobies lock Vampire Willow up in the book cage, and Angel arrives with word of what is happening at the Bronze. Somehow, Vampire Willow managed to make it to the library before Angel did.
Right.
A little suspicious, but okay. They come up with a plan for human Willow to impersonate her vampire self and help defuse the situation at the Bronze. So, Willow, human Willow, puts on Vampire Willow's clothes
Right.
and goes into the Bronze. She throws a little wave to Oz, who immediately knows it's his Willow, which is like a super sweet moment.
It is so funny. She's like,
yeah,
don't want to draw
Oh,
attention
man.
to it, but she kind of like smile, half waves.
Yeah, she's like. I remember I don't have it in my notes, but there's like a little moment outside where like it's Buffy, human Willow, Xander, and Giles, and they're like coming up with a plan. It's like, okay, everybody like guard a different door
Yeah.
and we'll ambush, and like Willow will go in, try to defuse the situation. And Willow's like, shouldn't we have a signal? Like, if I need help? And Buffy's like, well, what do you have in mind? And Willow's like, I'm thinking lots and lots of screaming.
Yeah. It's a good
that's
signal.
pretty good. So let's see. So Willow is in the Bronze pretending to be Vampire Willow. She starts sending her like Vampire Willow's lackeys. She starts sending them outside one by one where the Scoobies are slaying them as they go outside. Before long, Anya is able to figure out what's going on and calls Willow out. Willow gives the signal, basically just screaming really loud, and the rest of the Scoobies break in and take down the remaining vampires and rescuing the hostages.
Pretty great.
Um,
But Buffy almost stabs Vampire Willow.
Yep.
Or regular Willow, right?
No.
No?
Buffy almost stabs Vampire Willow.
Okay.
Like, almost stakes her.
Right.
But then Willow yells at her to stop at the last
Gotcha.
moment.
Gotcha. So confusing.
And I know
so
you
many
really
willows.
like that moment.
Yeah. So many willows. But yeah, she's like, good reflexes. She's like, thanks, I work out. I don't know. That cracked me up.
Oh man, I don't have it in my notes, but there's so Vampire Willow is locked in the book cage back at the school. And Cordelia comes in and finds Willow locked in the book cage and is gonna like let her out. But then she's like, you know what? We haven't had a chance to really talk girl to girl in a while. And she starts like talking Vampire Willow's ear off
Yeah.
about everything. And Willow's like, look, I'm very sorry. I did not mean to try to steal your boyfriend. Would you please just let me out of the book cage? And eventually, I guess she does let Willow out of the book cage, but Willow doesn't kill her. Willow just goes back to the bronze.
Yeah.
So Vampire Willow makes it back to the bronze. She almost takes out Human Willow in a fight, and just as Buffy's ready to stake Vampire Willow to save Human Willow tells her to stop. Willow says she feels icky about the idea of killing someone who looks just like her, and they decide to send Vampire Willow back to the other dimension where she can at least have a chance. Unfortunately, we see that she gets sent back at the exact moment she left, and then is immediately pushed into a broken piece of wood by Oz and killed.
Yeah.
Just how she originally died at the end of the Wish.
Yeah. I do like this one moment before where the Willows hug. And Willow's like, oh, hands.
Willow's like, it was so weird seeing my vampire self. She was all like dark and skanky.
Yeah.
And I think kind of gay.
Oh, man. Love it.
So, I mean, as far as a watch or pass on this one, or like a rating, I gave it 8 stakes. Yeah. I love this episode. I think it's so funny, and it's really interesting to see. Like, The Wish was really like a standalone episode. It didn't really affect anything outside of the fact that Anya was stuck mortal.
Right.
And so it would have been so easy for them to just had that been like a one-off episode. Anya goes away, we never see her again.
Definitely.
But this is where that episode does end up having kind of recurring ripples throughout the rest of the series. At one point, no, I don't want to spoil it, but like they make references to this at a couple different points.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a super fun episode, and it does a lot to like advance Willow's character moving forward. So I love this episode.
I gave it a 7, but an 8 also sounds good. I mean, it's just fun. It's like the Zeppo. It's just a fun divergence when we're getting ready to head into some pretty dark stuff.
Yeah.
So what is the next episode?
So the last episode that we're covering in this video is going to be Enemies, Season 3, Episode 17. I really actually like this episode. I personally like this episode. This originally aired March 16th, 1999, written by Douglas Petrie and directed by David Grossman. So let's see. The episode opens with Buffy and Angel getting out of a movie date. They mentioned that they thought the movie was going to be about food based on the title, but clearly it was a steamy romance and has left them both kind of uncomfortable because of the strict boundaries that they've had to put on their relationship.
Yep.
Let's see. Faith picks up Buffy from her date so that they can go out patrolling. I have a question in my notes. Why doesn't Angel go with them to go patrolling?
Right.
I don't get it.
Yeah. Angel needs to go away so they can both cool down.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's a fair point. On patrol, Buffy and Faith run into a demon who says he has the Books of Ascension and is willing to sell them, something the mayor really wants. Faith tries to kill the demon, but Buffy holds her back and tells her to let him go. So, go ahead.
No, it's just funny to see like a demon who, so often the demons are just pretty strictly evil. But this guy's just, he's just trying to get by. He's just trying to sell these books.
Yeah. So Faith reports into the mayor about the books. The mayor offers her a glass of milk and tells her to go track down the demon and to kill him and steal the books before the Scoobies can get to him. At the library, the Scoobies plus Wesley are trying to figure out what the Ascension is and what to do about the books.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting seeing like the two sides and how Mayor Wilkins is very like action first.
Yes, yeah.
And the Scoobies, I think more due to having to at least pretend to listen to Wesley right now. It's like, no, we need to plan. We need to talk about this. We need to figure out before we go and try to buy these books. Like, what even are they?
Yeah. What's the price? Can we negotiate it down?
Fair market value?
Yeah. We gotta make sure we're getting a good deal here. I know it could be the end of the world, but come on.
So let's see. Faith goes after the demon. They fight and she kills him and takes the book. Faith then goes to Angel, telling him that she feels badly about killing the demon and is afraid she's turning into a killer. Their conversation where Angel is talking to her that she can change and she doesn't need to be a killer makes him come off like he's trying to be like Faith's supernatural sponsor. It's almost like an AA thing.
Right.
Let's see. Passion of the Nerd, who I shout out almost every episode. I am not apologetic for it. I love him.
Is it like a Passion of the Nerd segment?
Yes. But he pointed out in his episode on this episode that Angel is clearly trying to pay forward the support that Buffy showed him over the season. Especially where, what was it, Amends, where he like tried to kill himself because of the whole thing with the first, and Buffy kind of like talked him down, and she also like helped to rehabilitate him after he came back from the demon dimension. So he's clearly trying to like pay forward that kindness.
Right.
Let's see. Faith tells Angel that she's scared and takes advantage of him comforting her by trying to kiss him, but he stops her. Buffy shows up just in time to see Faith kiss Angel on the cheek as part of their goodbye before she leaves. So that starts to grow some like jealousy and uneasy feelings. Yeah. So let's see. Back at Faith's apartment, we find out that Faith's trip to see Angel was part of a plan between her and the mayor to steal Angel's soul through a moment of happiness. They don't seem to understand why Angel resisted Faith. Faith knows that Angel didn't give in to her because of Buffy, and she doesn't seem to understand love and how being in love rather than lust can make you not want to cheat on your partner.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, too, like, even if they had slept together, he probably wouldn't have lost his soul, you know?
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been a moment of pure happiness.
Well, I mean, to that point, when Angel did lose his soul after sleeping with Buffy, it wasn't like in the middle of the act.
Yeah.
It was after. It was like
good point.
The two of them just laying there sleeping, being in like a moment of perfect like peace.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. So they're on the right path. They just don't quite understand all the machinations, which makes sense for these two characters.
Well, Faith seems to have kind of this. She doesn't understand love. Men to her have always just kind of been a toy.
Yeah.
And the mayor admits that he sold his soul like decades before, so he can't understand love either. I mean,
right.
I don't know if we've had this conversation, but like at one point a character, I don't think it happened yet, but it doesn't really matter. At one point a character says like, you know, vampires can't love. You can't love without a soul. And another character says, we can though. But I mean, I would argue that that's like, it's the love that vampires can have if they don't have a soul is like a very selfish love, where if you have a soul, it can be like a very selfless or just pure love.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at Spike, like he's in love with Drusilla, sure, but it's more like she's mine, and I don't want anyone else to have her.
It's very much like a property-driven thing, especially where like his plan to go and like win her back was to go find her, tie her up, torture her until she loves him again.
Yeah. Oh boy. I love Spike.
He's such a goof and I love him.
But yeah, so that's a good point for sure.
Yeah. So let's see. The mayor initiates another plan to try to steal Angel's soul and summons a dark warlock to do it. At the library the next day, Wesley talks to Buffy, or he tells her to go get the Books of Ascension, but to wait for Faith so that they can go together.
Right.
And Buffy's like, she shows up when she wants to show up. I could be waiting around here for 2 weeks and she might not show up. But there's no keeping track of that girl.
Right.
So let's see. Later that day, Buffy and Faith go to track down the demon at his apartment, discover his body, and the books are gone. We,
Naturally.
the viewer, know it's because Faith already got there first and stole them and just pretends to be surprised.
Yeah.
So let's see. At school the next day, Buffy confides in Willow that she's a little freaked out by the growing closeness between Angel and Faith. Willow tells her to go talk to Angel. Um, Passion of the Nerd points out here that since the events of Dopplegangland, Willow has started to make some more bold choices in her attire, and her attitude has changed slightly. She's more assertive and kind of more confident.
Yeah. No more fuzzy pink sweaters.
Yeah. But that's like that kind of like ripple effect that you can see from Dopplegangland and by extension The Wish. So let's see. At the mansion, Faith throws blood on Angel's shirt, and the warlock we saw in the talking to the mayor shows up and does like a spell to remove Angel's soul. Upon doing so, we see that Angelus is back, and he starts making out with Faith, and then starts punching and kicking her. They fight, and Faith is lined up to stake him. When she offers him a deal, he can either die or she can introduce him to the real power in this town.
I love it too, like when David Boreanaz plays Angel, or Angelus rather, he plays it in a very specific way, like really like cool, suave, you know, scary way.
Yeah.
And then Angel's more like timid, laid back, you know, that kind of a thing.
Brooding.
Yeah, brooding. But then so when he's pretending, you know, he just does a really good job of like differentiating those two characters. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like you know when he's Angelus.
Yes.
You know, he carries himself differently. He's a good actor. I mean, they got really lucky that they found this really good-looking guy who also happened to be a good actor.
Yeah.
You know.
And it almost makes it more terrifying when you know he's Angelus, but he pretends to be Angel.
Right. Yeah. So he's just so good. I mean, honestly, I think everyone on this cast is like very good at acting and like does a really good job. Like last episode with Willow, Evil Willow, and regular Willow, like everyone just has their moments to really show that they're talented.
Getting to see Allison Hannigan's range.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it was even really cool because in The Wish we only saw Vampire Willow. Or at least for like 98% of the episode.
Right.
So in Dopplegangland, being able to literally see human Willow and Vampire Willow in scenes together and seeing Allison Hannigan's range, and yeah, I love that episode.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's see.
It's like, can you tell we really like Buffy? I mean, to go off on tangents about how great it is in a podcast talking about how great it is.
In that case, is it really a tangent?
No, right. It's spot on for what we're doing.
Welcome to the Tiny Doe Review Podcast. We love this series. Please don't be surprised.
Oh man.
That should be like our
tag, yeah.
Or like the description on the main podcast page.
Right.
We love this series. Please don't be surprised.
Oh man. All right. So what's next?
Let's see. Faith takes Angel to meet the mayor, who invites him to be part of their plan for the town and kill the Slayer. Angel tells the mayor that he's thinking about stabbing him. The mayor tells him to go ahead, so he throws the mayor's letter opener at his chest. The mayor throws up his hand at the last second, and we see the letter opener stab straight through his hand. The mayor then removes the letter opener, and we see the hand heal back, like it heals back up instantly. The mayor reveals that he has been made invulnerable until the ascension, so nothing can kill him.
Yeah.
Let's see. The mayor asks Angel what his intentions are now that Faith has brought him back, and I have literally like the lines in my notes. And I'm sorry, it's Angelus.
Right.
But Angelus says, "Well, sir, I thought I'd find that Slayer that's given you so much trouble, and torture, maim, and kill her." The mayor says, "Fine. It's nice to see you're not one of those slacker types running around town today. Torture Buffy. Killing her is fine. Just make it a slow one. Angelus goes, my favorite kind. The mayor says, wonderful. We don't want a replacement Slayer anytime soon. They can't all turn out like my girl Faith. Have fun. To which I actually have a question here.
Mhm.
What would happen if Buffy died? Do you think another Slayer would be called? Or do you think that because Faith has already been called, it wouldn't call another one? Because Faith was technically not Buffy's replacement, but Kendra's replacement.
Who was Buffy's replacement, right?
Right. So I would argue that another Slayer might not be called until Faith dies.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we don't know the rules specifically, but that makes sense to me.
I don't think the Watchers Council even knows the rules, so you know what?
Well, yeah, it makes sense that that Faith is the current Slayer,
Yes.
and Buffy's also there, but yeah.
Buffy's kind of like a cheat.
Right.
In a way. Because, I mean, there aren't... We're told over and over, there aren't supposed to be two.
No.
Buffy just likes to break all the rules, because she's like, you know what? The Slayer's not supposed to have friends? Screw that, I'm gonna have friends. Oh, I'm sorry, I was supposed to stay dead? I don't think so.
Right. Can't be killed. How dare you guys
right.
try?
So let's see. So, Angelus and Faith are walking down the streets of Sunnydale. Xander runs into them. Xander tells Angel and Faith that Buffy has been looking for them, and that she went back to her house to stock up on weapons before heading out. So Angel and Faith take that information, I'm going to keep switching between Angel and Angelus.
Right.
But Angelus literally knocks Xander out cold and leaves him on the sidewalk, and they go and head to Buffy's house.
Yeah. It's like, I hate that guy or something.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Xander has always been anti-Angel, whether it be because he's jealous of him, whether it be because Angel became jealous and was therefore a bad guy, or because Xander just doesn't trust Angel. So
yeah, I mean, can't blame Angel for disliking him, really.
Especially if he found out that Willow told Xander to tell Buffy at the end of last season that she was going to try the soul restoring spell again. And Xander's way of delivering the message was to tell Buffy that Willow said kick his ass.
Right.
Oh, so, yeah. So let's see. Faith and Angel pick up Buffy at her house and bring her back to the mansion. Once there, they reveal what's really going on. Angelus is back and working with Faith. Before Angel knocks Buffy out cold and chains her up. Let's see. So, I mean, didn't see that one coming.
No.
I mean, except for that, literally, that's what Angelus told the mayor he was going to do.
Yeah.
Let's see. At the City Records Hall, Oz, Willow, and Cordelia discover that the mayor is over 100 years old. And that he's just somehow he's not aging, and somehow has been mayor for like over 100 years.
It's Sunnydale,
Just no one notices.
Nope. No one's alive long enough to. Is anyone alive 20 years in Sunnydale? Probably not. Your luck runs out eventually.
I mean, supposedly Willow has parents.
That's true.
But I mean, all of the adults have, except for Giles and the mayor and Snyder, seem to have like very short memories.
Yes.
And yeah.
Goes back to the Dairyman theory that the Hellmouth locks people's memories and suspicions and all that.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. So Angelus has knocked Buffy out. Once she wakes up, Faith reveals that Angel is the pet dog she always wanted. Faith reveals that she's working with the mayor, has brought back Angelus, and is now playing a part in torturing Buffy because she realizes no matter how hard she tries, she'll never have a life as good as Buffy by playing for the good guys.
Right.
So Faith, with some prodding from Angel and Buffy, reveals the date of the Ascension is graduation day. Once they have that info, Buffy and Angel reveal what's really going on. Angel never lost his soul, has been just playing the part of Angelus this whole time. Buffy isn't really chained up, and they've gotten all the information that they can out of Faith.
Oof. Big mess up.
Oh, yeah. So once Faith knows she's outnumbered, a fight breaks out and ends up with each of the Slayers having a knife at the other's throat. Faith tells Buffy that she's not a killer and not ready to become one yet. Then she kisses Buffy on the forehead and runs out. Later, it is revealed that Giles knew the warlock who put the very effective light show spell that tricked Faith into thinking that Angel had lost his soul. Apparently, the warlock did this as a favor to repay Giles for introducing him to his wife.
Love it.
That has to have been back in like the Ripper days.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see. Buffy goes back to the mansion to talk to Angel. Angel feels badly about what he had to say and do to convince Faith that he was on her side and had turned bad. Buffy understands that he was just doing what she asked him to do, and they got the info that they wanted. But between Angela's PTSD and watching him with Faith, she says that she needs a break. She walks away, and Angel asks, "Are you still my girl?" And she replies, "Always."
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that she needs a moment.
Oh yeah.
Spend a day.
I remember at one point we catch up with Xander, and Buffy's like, I'm sorry that like Angel had to punch you. He was just trying to play along, and Xander's like, oh, well that makes it okay. It's a good bruise. Poor Xander, always the punching bag. Yeah. But yeah, as far as a watcher pass on this one and rating, I gave it 8 stakes and gave it an absolute watch. Yeah. It is very like plot advancing for the season. A lot is revealed in this episode, both to us and to the characters themselves. So definitely a watch for me.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 as well, and it has a great twist. The Angel not actually losing his soul thing. It's just so good. I love it.
All right. Yeah, so that's it for this episode.
We did it. Jill, you have been live tweeting while you've been rewatching. I've been enjoying it. How have you liked that?
I'm gonna do it for a couple more episodes. For anybody who's watching this and is like, but the live tweets that I'm seeing on your Twitter do not line up with this episode.
No.
I started live tweeting as I started putting my notes together for season 4. So currently I have live tweeted as I was watching the first 5 episodes. We'll see how it goes. We'll see, like, guys, if you want me to keep live tweeting while I'm watching episodes, please go over and follow, like the tweets, engage. So I know that. Huh?
Said follow, engage, get those numbers up.
Because I mean, if no one's gonna be like liking any of that stuff, or if no one's gonna be looking at it, it's a little bit more work for me.
Yeah.
Just to keep like switching back and forth, because I literally I'll have YouTube and Hulu open, where I'm like watching to get notes, and then I also have my notes open, and then I also had Twitter open. So it was a lot of switching back and forth I was having to do.
Right.
So if you guys like it, I can continue it. But if nobody's gonna go over there and look at it, I'm not gonna keep doing the extra work.
Right.
It takes me like a good 60 to 90 minutes to put the notes together for each episode. So yeah.
Something I'd like to do at some point, maybe once you're moved into your new place and Jenny and I moved in, everything's like settled, as we can do like this and just stream our screens, but do like if you want, come watch this episode at the same time as us and hang out in Discord. I think that'd be a fun thing that we could potentially do in the future if people are interested in that.
Yeah.
Watch and
maybe we could do like, if we're gonna do that, maybe we could do like we go and watch like 2 episodes with people. Sorry. We go watch 2 episodes with people, and then go and record a video for those 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So that we're not like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Definitely. Oh, man. All right. Well, that's it for us, Jill. If they want to follow your live tweets for however long you want to keep doing those, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Jillian_Swan, and that's Swan with 2 N's on Twitter. I also recently added a little thing to my bio about co-host of the Sunnydale Review.
Yes.
So
yes,
if you don't know which one it is, it's the one that has that in the bio.
Well, he says co-host.
Yeah.
Naturally. All right. Anything else you'd like to plug?
Occasionally you can find me over in the comments or streaming over with my boyfriend and his friends over on the Grassblock UK channel. So if you want to watch some really cool people just playing video games and giving each other a hard time, you can watch that. That's Twitch, Grassblock UK channel.
All right. Go check them out. Drop them a follow. Let them know where you heard about them. Of course, the Sunnydale Review. As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at TheFakeBMar. That's BMARR. And you can follow the channel on Twitter at WGEverything, on Instagram at WickedGoodEverything, on Twitch at twitch.tv/WickedEverything, and on TikTok now. I think it's TikTok.com. I don't know. Just search Wicked Good Everything. I don't really know how TikTok works, y'all. I'm old. Compared to the people who generally use it, I scroll through it and I'm just like, everything just scrolling like, what the fuck? I don't get this. But we're on it. We're trying to make sketches. We're trying to make you laugh, keep you guys entertained. So yeah, drop us a follow on there, and we will see you in the next episode of the Sunnydale Review.
Bye.
The Sunnydale Review is a Wicked Good Everything production. Fan art of Buffy was created by Fishbone Art. The logo was created by Tamar Kutab. The original intro and outro song was created by Alex Carl.